Hey guys, welcome back again for a brand new series on Node.js API authentication. And the best part of this series is that we are going to make this application production ready. So the tech used in this series is Node.js, and you all know that what Node.js is used for. And then we'll be using MongoDB, and that is a NoSQL database that will be used for storing users. And then we are going to use Redis, that is an in-memory data structure, and it can be used as a database, a cache, or a message broker. But for our application, we'll be using it to store our refresh tokens, and later on you'll get to know that why we are storing refresh tokens in Redis. And then finally we'll be using JWTs, that are called JWTs, or they are called JSON Web Tokens, to be used as access token and refresh tokens. So firstly, let's see that what is a JWT or what is a JWT. So in simple words, a JWT is simply a string, but it has some properties, and that is it is base 64 encoded and it is URL safe. That is, it can be passed inside a URL without any problems. And one thing to note, that it is encoded and it is not encrypted. That is, whatever is stored inside a JWT can be easily visible by using a base 64 decoder, and whatever is stored inside, you can view this, or anyone who has the access to that JWT can view the contents of the JWT. So therefore you should never store sensitive information like passwords or something like that inside a JWT. It is typically used for storing claims, that is the user ID, the username, or so on and so forth. And a typical JWT consists of three parts, that is the header, the payload, and the signature. And inside the header there are two key value pairs. Firstly, the algorithm used inside this JWT, that is to sign this JWT, and typically we use HMAC SHA-256 algorithm to sign a JWT. And then the second key value pair is the type of the token, and in our case, since we are using JWT, so the type of the token would be JWT. The second part, that is the payload, it contains the claims, and we'll be coming back to this payload in the next slide. And then finally we have the signature, and this is used to verify if the token wasn't changed along the way, that is while it is transmitted from one client to another client or from the client to the server. Okay, so now let's have a look at the payload. And basically payload contains claims. And what are claims? They are simply key value pairs. So there are certain registered claims like the issuer, that is denoted by ISS, and then the expiration time of the JWT, that is you can make a JWT expire in a single second, or you can make a JWT to be never expire. And then we have the subject, that is the subject of the JWT, AUD for audience, and others. So if we click on this link, that is others, we can go to this link here and we can find all the registered claims that are there present inside a JWT. So here we scroll down below and we see that there is a claim called expiration time. So we'll be using this claim heavily inside our application because we want to expire our tokens, that is the access token, and we also want to expire our refresh tokens. But both the tokens would have a different validity period, and you'll get to know that why are we doing so. And then there is a NBF claim, that is not before claim, which simply means that the JWT would not be valid before a certain time or before a certain date, whichever you will provide in this NBF claim. And then there is a claim called IAT, and this is normally present in all of the JWT, and it simply means that what is the time at which this JWT was issued. And then we have the JWT ID claim. Again, we are not going to use this claim, but you are most welcome to read more about this. Typically we are interested in the public claims and the private claims. So here if we go to this public claim names, so here we see that there are certain public claim names, but again we are not going to use any of these claims here. We are simply going to use only 3 or 4 claims, and that are only registered claims, that is the issuer, the subscriber, the audience, and the expiration time, because that will satisfy our purpose of creating a JWT for authentication. So now let's go to this link here, and that is this debugger thing here, and here we see a typical JWT here, and here we see the algorithm is HS256, that is HMAC SHA-256 algorithm, and the type is JWT. And here we see the payload, that is the data, and here we see that we have this key, that is this claim, that is a public claim, that is called name, and the value is John Doe, and this token was issued at this time. And if you can see that this is January 18th 2018. So this is the issuing time of this JWT, and therefore this token is valid because there is no expiration time on this token here. So this is what a typical JWT looks like. So this part is the header part, this part is the payload part, and this part is the signature part. And here we see to sign the JWT, we use the encoded base64 header plus the encoded base64 URL encoded payload, and it requires a 256-bit secret key, and which will be generated by our own selves. But I'll provide a link in the description below where you can go and simply you can generate a new secret, and then you can use that secret inside your application. So last but not the least, we'll try to make this application as production ready, so you can simply plug and play inside your application or your API, whatever you are using. That's all about this video, and in the next video we'll be talking about the token flow that will happen between the client application and the server.